Oh, really?
Alabama and Georgia. This is another great one. Saturday night in between the hedges in Athens. We've got Georgia, 3-point home favorites, 53 the total here in this game. I got to admit, and I like me some Kalen DeBoer, but I'm leaning Georgia. I think Georgia just might be a better football team. I love the moxie. I love the composure. I love the mental and physical toughness for Georgia in that game against Tennessee on the road, where it looked like there were many different occasions where that game was going to get away from them, and they reeled it back in. They stayed calm. They executed down the stretch of a close game to win that one in overtime on the road in a tough environment against a good team. Now, you could argue they haven't played anyone other than that, Austin Peay and Marshall, but that was a statement. That was a game where that we've asked ourselves this of Gunnar Stockton. Is he good enough? Is he good enough to win games, big games with his arm and just his overall ability on the road? And he did. He proved it. He is the one that they didn't win because of their defense. Joey Aguilar in Tennessee had a lot of success in that game. They won because Gunnar Stockton made plays in a big moment in a big game on the road. And that showed me that maybe he's ready to step up in these big games against some of these better teams like in Alabama. Now, Alabama has righted the ship since the Florida State loss to a certain extent. They blew the doors off UL Monroe 73-0, and they dominated Wisconsin 38-14. But as we saw with Wisconsin last week, losing outright at home to Maryland, there's big problems with Wisconsin. So like I said, I don't fully trust Alabama on the road. The one thing that Alabama's got going for them is they've totally owned Kirby Smart. And this goes back to when Nick Saban was still coaching there. They
used to beat up on them a lot.
DeBoer and Alabama beat Kirby and Georgia last year, 41-34 in Tuscaloosa. It was 75 points in that game. Both offenses went up and down the field. It was all Alabama early, as Jalen Milroe early in that game was having a ton of success throwing it, running it. Ryan Williams, that is a good point by someone in the chat there. Ryan Williams, the great receiver for Alabama, just carved up Georgia's secondary. And you've got to believe Kirby Smart knows I can't let that shit happen again.
I know, but we just saw Tennessee carve the shit out of them.
Yeah, they couldn't contain
total blow here.
Yeah, Brazel, they couldn't stop him with Aguilar. So they probably knew we got to take that guy away, and they still couldn't do it. And that Georgia secondary, it didn't look great at times against Tennessee. They did
look better in the second half, I guess.
Yeah. One-on-one battle against Brazel, and Tennessee won the battle, and that's bothersome to me because this guy can throw the football. I think Ty Simpson, and I think he's gotten steadily better. I don't think he played that bad in the Florida State game. You can't blame Ty Simpson for Alabama losing that game. You blame their defense, because their defense couldn't stop Florida State.
Yeah, he missed some throws, but you're right.
He played solid, and I think he's played even better since then. So I think 53, I like it. This has also been, oddly enough, you would think, wow, Kirby Smart and Georgia, defensive-minded head coach.
Over series?
Yeah, really has been. Yeah, I mean, I think the fewest amount of points we've seen in these recent games since 2018 is 51. We had a couple of games that got to 51, and then everything else has been 63, 65, 65, and then 75 last year when these two teams played. And I think there's as much a concern as I've seen in years, Connor, with these two defenses right now than I've seen in years. Like, they don't look like the same buttoned-up defensive units. Alabama's doesn't look like it, and Georgia's doesn't look like it after what I saw against Tennessee. So I'm probably going to play over 53, and I got to see Alabama do it. We've only got the Florida State game to gauge them on, and what didn't go their way. Georgia showed the toughness to overcome Tennessee on the road in overtime. Georgia's got this spot circled because they lost Alabama last year. At 3, I lean Georgia. I do. So it's Georgia lean for me. I may bet it, and I like the over. C-Mac, what do you think for this big showdown in the SEC, Alabama, Georgia?
Yeah, when I first looked at this total, I'm like, maybe looking at the under. But I talk about it a lot. It's just been the last 5 years or longer. Like with these big teams, just explosive plays happen. They're too athletic, and the games go over. We talk about it all the time. So that makes me. I'm like, maybe this game is just going to go over. That the defenses just aren't there right now, and these offenses are. Yeah, Georgia's had a tough time with Alabama, but I don't know what to make of Alabama because I don't know if they're great. I mean, we just saw them. Wisconsin's not very good, and of course they lose to Florida State. Like, to me, I'd lean Alabama here and take the 3 points, but I don't know if I love it at all because I got to see more from Georgia. I like Stockton, but I don't. In the past, you could have the game manager there, Georgia, because the unbelievable defenses. And I'm sure the defense is going to get better. They're just loaded with talent. So maybe it works out. But, yeah, Tennessee just kind of did whatever they want early and often. But that was
Colby Young is a good
win.
receiver, though, for Georgia. Let's not just give Ryan Williams of Alabama all the love. Colby Young is really good. He was really good against Tennessee as well.
Yeah, it seems like there'll be enough success. It's just
and Zachariah Branch, who we got from USC in a transfer.
Branch.
Addition. Yep.
Yeah. So, man. Doesn't get bigger than this on Saturday. Should be good, yeah.
Another great game. There's so many of them coming up on Saturday. But, yes, this is another one for sure. No question.
By the way, why do you have Georgia, Bama, same time as Oregon, Penn State? Wouldn't you just set that?
Like television rights, C-Mac.
Yeah, that's true.
NBC,
ABC.
ABC has the rights to the other, and they both want a big-time game in prime time. That's why.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that means they're going head-to-head. But, NBC's got Oregon, Penn State, and Fowler and Herb Street are going to have that Alabama and Georgia game on Saturday night. So that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But I'll have them on both screens. I'll be ready to rock.
Oh, yeah. I got to have them on both.
Yeah, no doubt. Looking forward to them both.